Hello everyone, welcome back to another video from sysadmin 102. In today's video, I will show you how to set up WireGuard remote access on your OPNSense router. It basically is still the same tutorial, however, due to the GUI or the GUI change recently, and the way how you generate the peers. So I decided to update the tutorial. Hopefully, it's gonna help you out and avoid any confusions. And before we get started, make sure that you create a backup of your system configurations. This is important because if anything go wrong, you don't remember how to backtrack and fix things, then the easiest way is just to restore the backup from the configurations, and that way you can get back to whatever vividly working for you. All right, and before we get to step number 2, we're gonna do a quick version check. So this is for OPNSense 24.7. So you're gonna notice in my video, I start doing a version check, so that way you know what version the videos we're making for. And if it's outdated, make sure that you leave it in the comments, so that's where I can update it. At the end of the tutorial, if you think the video is helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And thank you for all the support. And moving on to the next step, we will need to create the WireGuard instance. So we head over to VPN and WireGuard and instances, and select add to add a new one. And we're gonna toggle on the advanced mode. And for the name, I'm gonna call it sysadmin102_WireGuard. And then we're gonna select the gear icon to generate the new pair, key pair. And for the listen port, the default is 51820. However, I'm going to use 51821. I recommended you to use a random one or a different than a default port. The reason being is that it might possibly minimize the log for your IDS and IPS. Other than that, it's not much of a difference of using the default port or using a random one. And for the MTU, we're going to use 1420. That's the default for WireGuard. And if you on DSL connections or triple PoE, the recommended one is 1412. If you're on a regular one, 1420 should be working fine. And for the DNS server, I'm going to use the local DNS. So 10.13.2.1, that's my local DNS server. If you do not have a local DNS server, you can use whatever you choose, Google, Quad9, or Cloudflare. I highly recommend it to use a Quad9, so it's just 9.9.9.9 for number 9. And for Cloudflare, that's going to be for number 1. There you go. And I'm going to delete these. For the tunnel address, some of the viewers ask me, like, how do I know to create a tunnel? So there is a subnet calculator that you can use to calculate the subnet that you want to use. Those are available on Google. You just can Google them. There is rule how you can create them. However, as long as you keep it within the class A, class B, or class C, you should be good to go. All right. And for this tunnel address, we're gonna use class A. So it's gonna be 10.3.2.0 and slash 24. But whatever you do choose, make sure that it's not a common one that being used on the consumer router, because if you happen to have the same tunnel address with the subnet that you connect to, your WireGuard not gonna know how to route the traffic, and you're not gonna able to establish the remote connections. All right, and once you've done that, we're gonna save it, and then we're gonna select apply. All right, next step, we're gonna create peers. We can do that a lot quicker and easier now using the peer generator. So we can select peer generator, and from here for the endpoint, if you have static IP address, it's gonna be your static IP address, and whatever the port number that you put for the instance earlier. If you do not have a static IP address, that's going to be your DDNS, FQDN, fully qualified domain name, and then the port number. So in this case, I'm going to use ddns.sysadmin102.org, and the port number is going to be 51821. Again, if you don't have a DNS set up, I have a tutorial on my channel for Cloudflare DNS. However, if you have issues setting up any DNS, you can leave a comment and I can try to help you out with it. And for the name, I call it sysadmin102 underscore user 1. And then for the keep alive interval, going to be 25 for 25 seconds. DNS server, again, if you have you don't have a local DNS server, you can use the Quad 9 or Cloudflare. And we're going to copy that config file on Mac or Windows. So on Mac or Windows, all you just have to do is add a new empty tunnel. And then from there, you can just copy and paste that configurations. And then we're going to call it sysadmin102 user 1. And that's it. That's all you need to do with it. If you have a mobile device, Android or iPhone, you would open up the WireGuard app and then you would add a tunnel by scanning the QR code. And then once you've done that, you're going to select store and generate next. And then we're going to go back to WireGuard instances. And then we're going to select enable WireGuard and we're going to select apply. All right, once you've done that, we're going to go back to interfaces. And then we're going to select assignment to create a new assignment for the WireGuard instance that we just created. And we're going to call it sysadmin102 WireGuard. And we're going to select add. And we're going to select the new interface that we just created. And we're going to enable the interface. You have the option to prevent interface removal. Option no. And then we're going to save it. And we're going to select apply. Next, we're going to create a firewall rules. So we're going to head over to a firewall. And then we're going to select rules. And we're going to select WAN for WAN interface. And we're going to select the plus icon to add a new one. TCP IP versions, IPv4, IPv6. Protocol, it's going to be UDP. And for the destination, it's going to be WAN address. And for the destination port, we're going to select other. And then we're going to fill in whatever the port number that we use. If you use the default one, it's going to be 51820. If not, it's going to be whatever that you choose when you create your instance. So for mine, it's 51821. And again, 51821. And for the description, we're going to say that allow client to connect to WireGuard server. All right. And once you've done that, we're going to save it. And we're going to select apply changes. Next, we're going to create another rule to allow the client to access whatever subnet or whatever host IP address that you intended for them to access. So in this case, I'm going to allow them to access the entire LAN subnet. So we're going to select sysadmin102 underscore WireGuard. And then we're going to add the new rules. And for the TCP IP, IPv4, IPv6, protocol, any. And then the source is going to be sysadmin102 WireGuard net. And for the destinations, you can allow it to go to your LAN net or whatever subnet that you have in here, or you can go to a single host, or you can specify a network or subnet. In this case, I'm going to select the default that allow it to access any. And for the descriptions, I'm going to say allow access to any subnet. And we're going to select set, and we're going to select apply changes. And lastly, we're going to create a normalization rules. So under firewall, you select settings, and then select normalization. And then we select add to add a new one. Interface is going to be WireGuard root. And then direction is gonna be any, and we're gonna go down to the max MSS. So this will depend if you're passing only IPv4. It's gonna be 1380, and if you're using ADSL or triple PoE, it's gonna be 1372. You can refer to my ringtone tutorial, the link down in the descriptions for the parameter for this setup. And if you're passing both IPv6 and IPv4, then the max MSS is gonna be 1360. It's gonna be 1352 if you're using DSL or triple PoE. So in this case, we're passing both IPv4 and IPv6, so it's gonna be 1360. And for the descriptions, we're gonna say WireGuard MSS clamping IPv4 IPv6. And once you've done that, we're gonna save it, and we're gonna select apply changes. All right, so I just connected my laptop to my hotspot now, so that's why I'm not within the same subnet. And we're gonna activate it to see if we're able to establish the remote connections. And yes, we have received and sent, would mean that it successfully established the connection with the server. And just to test, we're gonna go to 192.168.1.1, and we were able to access our OPNSense portal. In addition, what you can do a DNS leak. And we can do a standard test. And this is the two server for next DNS, which is I have set it up in my unbound DNS, DNS over TLS. So this way I don't have the DNS leaks. DNS leaks is happen when you connect it to your VPN servers, and when you try to access a website, it send that query to third-party DNS servers or your ISP. That gonna review your IP address. So that's what a DNS leak is. In this case, I'm sending it to my next DNS, which is the intended DNS for this case. My setup to have it send it to the next DNS, so that's where I have a control of what's being logged on the server, so I don't have a DNS leak. If you're interested in how to do this, I have a tutorial just for how you set up a unbound DNS with the next DNS. And that concluded today's video. If you think the video is helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.